Amy, and I'm at home in my kitchen, and today I am making a Matzo Scallion Pancake for Passover. And you're probably wondering what that's all about. It's a little different than classic matzo brie or fried matzo, which is something I grew up on and I love. And this idea kind of came to me in the middle of the night. I thought it would be really interesting to make a little twist on that. So I'm starting out by making a classic fried matzo, which is taking matzah. I'm going to use 1.5 sheets, and I'm sort of breaking it up into manageable bite-sized pieces. And because it's so crispy and I'm going to fry it, with eggs, I am going to soak it in water for like 2 seconds, and it just softens it up. So this is what I've done, and that's all it is. I don't want it to get too soft because then it'll be really mushy, but I don't want it to have such a bite that I'm not really enjoying the whole dish. I want the matzah to be able to incorporate with the eggs and the other ingredients. So I'm over here and I have some butter melting. I'm gonna keep Jimmy, my camera guy, over there for a sec. So I have some butter melting. This is an 8-inch cast iron skillet. And I'm gonna take this matzah, I'm just gonna take it right out of the water and stick it into the butter to toast it. And turn my heat up. It's not great to add water to butter in a skillet because the water and the butter they don't really interact very well. It's like oil, literally oil and water. I could drain this, but it's such a hassle. It's like an extra step that I don't really feel like doing. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna keep using this bowl though. This is my garbage bowl, and I put all of my waste in here. It's just a really easy way to cook, although I'm making a little bit of a mess. So while this is cooking up and toasting, I'm gonna get my eggs ready. And I have 3 eggs, 3 large eggs. I cook with large eggs as a rule. I feel like extra large eggs just have extra water and it kind of throws off the balance of whatever you're making, especially if you're baking. So stick with a large egg. If you want to get really food nerdy, the quantity of a large egg in grams is 60. And that's really what you want out of an egg, and Sebastian Ruxel taught me that. I know you're probably not watching this, Sebastian, but he is like the most amazing pastry chef ever. He worked at the French Laundry for years, and I am a huge fan of his. So I hear this really sizzling. I'm just going to give it a little toss, just to get butter all over the matzah. And now I'm going to come back to my eggs. So I have my 3 eggs, and I'm just going to whisk this. You know, there are 2 different ways to whisk. You can hold your whisk like this, like a fist, and I really like it that way. Mindy Siegel of Hot Chocolate taught me that. That's how she whisks. I used to whisk like this. And I think it's a little dainty, and you don't really get it. You don't get in there as well, but when you're like this, I feel like this is the way chefs whisk. So this is the way I do it now. Getting all my aggression out, my coronavirus quarantine aggression. I mean, I could do this all day, and it's really good for my arms, although I have to switch so it's like equal for exercise. I feel like this is pretty good. Everything's whisked up. So I'm gonna start to build on the scallion pancake now. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt, as well as some soy sauce. And soy sauce is salty, it's very salty, but I find that the eggs still need some salt, as well as the matzah doesn't have any salt, so salt's really important. This is toasted sesame oil, and this is kind of like the secret ingredient. Toasted sesame oil is amazing. It's just, it's almost like umami for a lot of Asian flavor. And the combination is delicious. So here's my egg mixture, and then I'm gonna add the scallions, hence scallion pancake with matzah. And I have already chopped up a bunch of scallions. This is about 4 or 5 scallions that I cut up. And what I'm doing, I'm gonna add these to my egg mixture, but you're probably wondering why I have these soaking in this ice water bath. And the reason why is because scallions sometimes get, come over here, Jimmy, while I add this. Sometimes scallions get a little slimy when you cut them up. I'm gonna just add this right in here. turn up the heat, crank up the heat a little bit, and let this set. And this is the scallion pancake. This is all it is. All it has to do is cook now. And it's gonna cook for about a minute on this side, and the bottom's gonna get set. And I'm gonna do something that's really interesting. I'm gonna try and flip it. Normally, I would stick it under the broiler just to get the top crispy and cooked. And I already made a version of that, and I stuck it under the broiler. But this one, I wanted to see what would happen if I flipped it. So I'm gonna give it a try.
Before you do that, I have a question. How
Yes.
high was the heat before you turned it up?
I had the heat on medium, and that was to melt the butter and to toast the matzah. And then once I added the eggs, I want everything to set really quickly. So I turned my heat up to medium high. And I'm kind of watching it. I mean, this happens so quickly, you don't want to walk away. So I'm trying to replicate what a scallion pancake looks like. And Jimmy, if you come over here, you can see the edges are starting to set, and then the middle is still a little liquidy. And that's exactly what you want it to look like.
What if you don't have matzah? Can you use something else?
Yes, that's a really good question. Not everybody has matzah. Of course, there is, matzah is really for everyone, not just people celebrating Passover. It is a delicious cracker. But if you don't have matzah, you can use saltines. And the reason why saltines are so great is because you can buy them anytime. You can buy them year-round. Matzah is one of those things that is only available right now. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love this dish so much, because I have such fond childhood memories of having it only once a year. And it's just kind of nice to, go into the grocery store for the first time and, in March or early April, and you see matzah for the first time, and it's like, oh yeah, it's matzah season. I can make matzo brai again, or fried matzah. And while I'm on the subject of that, if you don't want to make a matzo scallion pancake, you can make, this is a classic matzo brai recipe, or fried matzah. All it is matzah, eggs, a little salt, and a little butter. So just skip the scallions, skip the soy sauce, and skip the sesame oil. And then you just go right back to the classic. But as I said, I was sleeping a couple of nights ago, and I was thinking about matzo brai. And I was also thinking about scallion pancakes, and I really wanted to make scallion pancakes. And then I just thought, it makes so much sense to combine the two together. And then I woke up and I made it, and it was really good. So I thought I would do this. And I'm really excited about it. So I feel like this is kind of ready to be flipped. I am gonna take a chance. Should
I back up?
Don't shoot me if it doesn't work. I have to say, if I was a real chef, they would go like this. They would take the handle and go and flip it up like Justin Smiley, who I see on Instagram is cooking up a storm, and I'm so impressed. I am not like that. So I'm gonna just be really clumsy and try and flip it. So bear with me. Yeah, Jimmy, come on in and we'll try and make this happen. All right, so I'm gonna get this under here, and this like this. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ay, ay, ay. Well, pretty close. Yeah, there we go. Scallion pancake. Looks good though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this cooked for about a minute, and now that I flipped it, it's gonna cook for about another minute. But what I'm gonna do is just turn the heat off, and I'm just gonna let it sit because I know that this is pretty much done. Come over here, I wanna show you how to serve a scallion pancake. And I'm gonna make a little dipping sauce. Jimmy, you can go back that way. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I love a scallion pancake with a little dipping sauce, so I'm gonna take my same ingredients, a little soy sauce, a little sesame oil, oops. And yes, I should be measuring, but I'm really bad at measuring. I'll put the actual measurements in my recipe. I'm gonna add a few scallions, and I was actually thinking, I have some hot peppers in the fridge. I wish I pulled them out. because I think they'd be really good for a sauce. And I also had some sesame seeds, so I added that. And sesame seeds look really nice too. So this is the scallion pancake that I made earlier, where I put it under the broiler, and I will put both options for cooking in my recipe. I'm gonna cut it with my peace sign pizza wheel and put the dipping sauce with it. And this is a really, really nice little appetizer or a lunch, light lunch, or even dinner with a salad that is perfect for Passover or really any time. I think that looks really good. I'm gonna try this. I'm actually really excited. Okay, so here's my dish. Jimmy, you want to try one with me?
Sure.
Can you do that? Let's see how good it is. Wow, it's
Really
amazing.
good.
Thank you so
Great
much
job,
for
Mom.
watching. Happy Passover, happy Easter. Stay good, stay healthy. See you soon. Bye.